Welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show for March 7th, 2017. My name is Shelley Overton. I am an astrologer in Orlando, Florida, and if you want a reading, you can get me at astrologerangel.com. It's pretty simple to just click on the button there and schedule a reading with me. So how are you? I am doing well. It's kind of an overcast, cool day here. It's 73 degrees in Orlando, which is chilly for me. And I'm from Colorado, so you can tell your blood thins when you move to the south. And anyway, so yeah, we've got a little bit of overcast. I know everybody, oh my goodness, my glasses just cracked. How weird is that? We've got a lot of nasty weather coming across the U.S., and that's part of what's going on right now with the astrology. And what else? Oh, my gosh, I'm just looking at the chart right now, and there is a big old grand cross in it. So that means that we've got 4 planets, including the moon, which is the light. They call the moon a light, and the sun is a light. All making an X in the sky. So we have the moon at 15 Cancer. We have Pluto at 18 Capricorn, which is directly opposite. We have Jupiter at 21 Libra retrograde, and we have Uranus and Venus, well, kind of squaring Pluto and the moon, but Venus and Uranus are 10 degrees apart, but the degree in between 12 and 22 is where Pluto is and where the moon is in relationship. So they're all kind of squaring each other and opposing each other, which makes for a rock and rollin' time. So also we have Jupiter opposing Uranus. Well, he's retrograding, so he just went past a direct opposition and he's continuing on backwards. And so we've got that energy going on, and that happened, oh gosh, a couple of days ago. We had the direct hit between those two. Let me just look real quick here. Oh, I'm looking. I don't see it in my ephemeris. And by the way, I did find my ephemeris again. So it was tucked over on the other side of the room under some books, I think. Anyway, very happy about that. And so Jupiter opposed Uranus exact at 8:15 on last Thursday, the 2nd. It's flying. I can't even believe it. It was just March 1st, and it's already the 7th. I mean, I sit there and go, okay, I want to write an article about the planets for the month, and it's already a week in. Like, where does it go? So anyway, so that energy has definitely affected what's going on, and I even opened up a page on Facebook. I had it. It's probably tucked in one of my multiple browser windows I have open. But they've got so many things going on in the news story here. So we've got Robert Osborne, the man who does Turner Classic Movies. He passed away at 84. One of the players for the Cleveland Cavaliers broke his leg last night in his first game within the first 10 minutes, I believe it was. We've got North Korea and Malaysia having difficulties with people not leaving from the country. The head of North Korea is not leaving Malaysia, letting Malaysians leave because there are tensions there, and he claims that Kim Jong-un, I think his name is claiming that they're not, he's protecting them because of what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then WikiLeaks, a woman was just released or rescued in Australia from basically a kidnapping from a guy she'd met a couple months ago, and she's from the UK. We've got weather patterns all across the country that, I mean, I watched the news and it was unbelievable. Okay, Uranus rules inclement weather. And I say this all the time, but I'll repeat it because that actually helps you learn it better if you're just learning astrology. But Uranus rules electrical outages such as, blackouts for large quantities of people. It also rules inclement weather and storms, and there were baseball-size hail. I looked at it this morning on Good Morning America. I'm like, that's crazy. There was a tree that was probably a foot across that was just snapped in half from the winds yesterday in the south, which, that's what Uranus does. And Jupiter is also about taking action. It's about a broader energy, so it affects more people. It's a slower moving planet. The slower moving planets tend to dig their heels in and have a more powerful impact on us. So Jupiter opposing Uranus, Jupiter's in Libra, and that's an air energy, so it's wind and air and concepts and ideas. And then Uranus is also the same because Uranus rules Aquarius, another air sign, but Uranus is in Aries, which is taking action 6 degrees away from Mars, which rules Aries. So there's a ton of energy going on right now that is very intense just between Jupiter and Uranus. And then we have Mars 6 degrees past Uranus, and he is actually in positive aspect, believe it or not, to Saturn in Sagittarius. So there is some more foreign energy, more foreign relation energy coming in, and it's going to be about creating the structures and how we're going to do it. I haven't heard the news if Trump's appointed someone to deal more on a global level, ambassadors to other countries, things like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if that comes up. And and then there was an ambassador in the story. In the news this morning. I just don't remember who he was, but I know this week there's been some ambassador news, and so that is all the kind of thing that Jupiter opposing Uranus will bring up. And then, of course, we have Venus retrograde at 12 degrees Aries. So she is also rallying women. I think there's another women's rally or march tomorrow on the 8th. I posted it to my Facebook page. I just saw it and reposted it. But we've got that going on. So, of course, women are still in the Aries energy. So they're still acting very forthright and, hey, this is us. We're here. We've got our issues and you need to pay attention. We've got, let's see, Mercury at 17 Pisces conjunct 17 degree Sun. They're only 35 minutes apart. So Sun is at 17:15 and Mercury is at 17:50. So they basically joined up, I think probably earlier today. Let me just see. It might have been last night. What's today? Today's the 7th. So Mercury and the Sun joined at 7:29 last night. And that's Eastern time, 4:29 Pacific. So what does that mean? That's one of the top questions I get when I do astrology. What does that mean? Well, Mercury is communication. It's transportation. It's taking action. And it rules both Gemini and Virgo, so it's very chatty, very communicative. And when it's with the Sun, it gets much more attention for what is said. Now, even though it gets more attention, it's in the sign of Pisces, which means it's much more intuitive. So even though any other sign, the Sun would have, we would have gotten this tremendous chattiness. Mercury in Pisces is actually very quiet. It's nonverbal communication and psychic communication. So you're going to get a lot of things implied. And we're going to get the ego attached. But again, in Pisces, last sign of the zodiac, Pisces is more about egolessness. So Mercury joined Sun is about quietly saying things or non-verbally saying things, intuitively picking up on things. And the ego is at peace, so to speak. It's at rest. So that's more of the energy around that. Now, the exception would be having Sun at the midheaven, where, if somebody has Pisces at the midheaven or at the time of day, like right now, I've got the chart for an Aries rising, like I always do the natural rising sign, but someone who has it naturally at the midheaven would have much more to say and get more attention for their psychic ability. So right now in natural is what I had with Aries on the horizon, which would be Aries at the left 9 o'clock position on the chart. Where I'm at right now, I just did a chart for what's currently going on, and Gemini is on the horizon. So why did it go to Placidus? There we go. I use porphyry. 4 degrees of Gemini on the horizon here in Orlando, which puts all the Pisces at the midheaven and into the 11th house as well. So, here in Orlando, you might have more information about weather, water, flooding, at this time of day, because it's transiting, it's moving continually. As the Earth turns and spins, our view of where the constellations are shifts and changes. So that means it shifts and changes to different parts of our world. Like in the sky, if you look at the sky, it's divided up into different sections. And so because those sections of the sky are ruled under specific things, and this is getting more into something I wasn't going to get into today, but whatever point of time you're at, if you divide the sky up into 6 sections, that's what we can see. And then there are 6 sections underneath us on the other side of the world, and that's the zodiac. Those are all the houses. But as the Earth moves, and if you think of the fixed constellations in the sky, and that is the realm of those particular zodiac signs, that moves throughout the day. So not only does the sky move, the segments of what's transiting through those segments is what's moving. So you pretty much get a lot of shifts and changes with what can happen. So it's kind of like trying to hit a moving target, and that's what I do as an astrologer, is I look at a photograph of what that particular transit is at any given moment and say, hey, this is what's going on in your world, and this is how it'll affect you. So with this grand cross in the sky, and it's in cardinal again because we have Jupiter in Libra, and the Aries energy, Cancer and Capricorn are all cardinal signs. Cardinal means that they're the beginning sign of their quadrant of the sky, their quadrant of the zodiac. So they are initiators, and they take the action. They're right out of the gate. They hit it hard and heavy and are movers and shakers. So if you know anybody of those 4 signs, you know that they get it done. So with Pluto is major changes around structure. Moon in Cancer, Moon rules Cancer, so the Moon is very much about home and family. And so there are changes around the home and family structure. And just as an example, in my own home, I've got a studio room, and I'm creating a whole new vibe about it. I'm moving everything around. I'm renovating furniture, and I'm creating a boutique for my studio with my art off of my home. So I am changing around what's going on in my home. I planted new plants out front. So you're going to feel that definitely right now. And clutter clearing is a big thing with Pluto and Capricorn. So if you've been feeling like, hey, I really want to get rid of things and I want to open up and clean up my space, definitely the Capricorn energy is about having things minimalist and very pragmatic. So you're going to see that. And then Mars-Uranus, again, is about high energy flow into the unexpected, into renovation. I was out picking mulberries off the tree yesterday because I have this amazing mulberry tree on this farm. And the wind kicked up so much, and I was videotaping for my vlog, and I stood on a chair to pick the mulberries off, and the tree was blowing so much that I was actually starting to lose my balance just from looking at where the branches were, because I wasn't looking at the ground. I was looking at the branches trying to grab the mulberries, and I was having to grab the chair. And then another thing happened during that time, which I found really interesting. I have, and this again, structure around the home. I had a table that was made out of cast iron, and it had been on the property when I got here, and I spray painted it white, and it's been out under the mulberry tree. And I don't even put anything on it. Maybe I put a bowl on it while I was collecting mulberries, and the leg broke in half. Cast iron, the leg just broke in half. I'm like, wow, okay, that was odd. But I took the weather as definitely telling me to stop doing what I was doing. I got a good half a bowl, a giant bowl, like a popcorn bowl, full of mulberries I'm going to make jams from. So again, Moon in Cancer, making something around the home. Okay, so let's just check in real quick. And I I don't remember the title of the show, but I kind of know. I think it was about the transits that are going on, but I just want to double check. So I actually talk about what the show is and what I promoted it to be instead of just going, well, I'm just going to, oh, okay. All right. It's Mercury Chases the Moon. At least that's what it is on Facebook. It's not the actual title here on Blog Talk because you can't fit it all in on Facebook. So I just have to abbreviate. Anyway, so what's going on is this week as I looked over the aspects and tried to decide what to write about, what talk about on the show, I noticed that Mercury is making multiple transits throughout the week. And that is really probably, besides the cardinal cross that's going on, Mercury is moving fairly fast. And so he is connecting to a lot of planets. And yesterday he connected to Mercury and the Sun, to the Sun was the exact. And then today he sextiles Pluto, which is a positive aspect. And so Mercury in Pisces sextiling Pluto in Capricorn means that it's a good time to make your visions come true and talk to people about your visions, connecting with people verbally or even intuitively link in. So Mercury in Pisces, you're starting to read people's minds. And interestingly, it'll also bring in people from the past. And for a couple of weeks, I have this one client that I've been thinking about, and sure enough, I heard from her today, and I even said, I've been expecting to hear from you because you've been on my mind for a couple of weeks, and so it'll bring people back up in, and you'll hear from them. And then, so in Pluto, again, it's structure, changes, things that are hidden that may come out or come back into your awareness again. Let's see, and then that kind of tonight, Mercury is sextile to Pluto at 9:25 p.m. Pacific and 12:25 a.m. on the 8th, which is just early in the morning on the 8th. It straddles the 2 days. So it's really building up to this energy by later today. So you're probably going to spend the day hearing from people you hadn't heard from. And then, let's see, and where you hear from them can be where it's at when you hear from them. So like I just heard literally an hour ago from this client, it popped up on Facebook, and right now where I'm at, all this Pisces, Mercury, Sun conjunction, and Mercury sextile Pluto is in my house of career. And so I heard back from a client. So that's how you can kind of find those aspects and use them and know where they're going to pop up in your world. Then on the 9th, which is Thursday, Mercury in conjunct Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Libra, and so, of course, Mercury, and in conjunct is 150 degrees apart, which is probably, in my opinion, one of the more difficult, if not the most difficult aspect in planets, because it's like you don't have any commonalities. It's like two disjointed bodies not really understanding each other, having nothing in common and nothing to really grasp at to really understand each other. You don't have commonality by sign. You don't have commonality by house. You just don't connect really well. So Mercury in Pisces in conjunct Jupiter in Libra is about how are we communicating? Are we understanding each other on a deeper level? And the answer is no, not this week. You're really missing what's going on with that person. So, be aware that any partnership situations are probably going to be more difficult to really connect into intuitively on Wednesday. And I already have something scheduled with a friend for Wednesday to help her with something. So I don't know, maybe I should put that off, huh? Okay, so that was Thursday. So actually Wednesday might be okay. Wednesday's actually good, so we'll just leave that. Thursday is not going to be as good. Mars enters Taurus on Thursday. So what does that mean? It means activity in the stock market. Any time over the next month that Mars is in negative aspect to a planet, you're going to see blips in the stock market, money or love, because that's the area it rules. It can also mean there are going to be issues around the body because the second house rules the body. Taurus rules the second house, and Venus is the ruler of the second house. So anytime you have Venus or Taurus active, you're going to see issues around the body, the health, and it could also mean your diet. Taurus rules diet and the kind of foods we eat. So you may want to make more food at home. I know I'm probably going to be doing that, but after Thursday, we'll see kind of a pickup in what we're doing with our diet, and also is gardening and growing things out in the garden. So definitely going to affect me that way because I have a lot of earth energy in my chart, and I've been needing to get to the garden. So that garden's going to get done this month. Let's see what else we have here. So Friday, Mercury joins up with Chiron. Chiron is in Pisces, which means, again, karmic issues from the past, emotional energy around karmic ties. When you meet someone and you feel like you've known them all your life, that's a Piscean karmic connection. So you're going to feel that. And then with Chiron, it's where it triggers a wounding that we've had or something that is uncomfortable emotionally from the past. So we're going to and it's interesting because I have Chiron in Pisces in my chart at 16, and it's going to conjunct, I think, around 21. So it's not or 22. It's not very much farther past my natal Chiron. So those issues for people born, with that Chiron in Pisces, it's going to be more pointed. You're going to be more aware of that deep emotional wounding. And in Pisces, the wounding is around your psychic ability. It can be around your intuition about your relationship with higher spirit and your sense of religion or spirit and connectedness to other people. And it can also be people of your soul group who you have a deep knowingness and a bond with, that you may be wounded by someone there. So just, and actually, interestingly, I had that conversation with another friend of mine today who I do business with. So she's a friend and a client. And I told her, you've done this or that in our relationship, and it kind of undermined my efforts to help her with her business. And I told her, that it was really hurtful to me. So, that will come up where you feel a little wounded and hurt. And let's see what we have. Saturday looks okay. Sun is in conjunct to Jupiter. So again, there are going to be some unspoken issues coming up in relationships and connectedness there. Just be aware Saturday is probably a day that you're going to have a little bit more emotional awareness. You've got Moon in Virgo, which can be detached and has a little bit more pragmatic energy about her. So she's wanting to spend more time alone and away from people, not engaging. And then Jupiter retrograde in Libra. So I would say that right there just says she needs to get away. Virgo, Moon is in conjunct Venus and Sun is in conjunct Jupiter. And there is a kind of an overlapping of that energy as far as how they're interacting, because Venus is the feminine in Aries, and then Moon in Virgo is going to mean that there's a woman who's probably not treating you very well on that day. So I will be very aware of that. I think I have something going on that day as well with another person. And then Sun in Pisces in conjunct to Jupiter and Libra. Again, Sun in Pisces, it's about detachment from ego, but it's in conjunct to Jupiter and Libra retrograde. Again, it's about that relationship and partnership. So we've got a couple times this week where we're seeing, especially with Jupiter involved, it's going to be about your partnering and your relationship. So it can be partners with business, it can be partners with a project or an event, or marriage and a relationship. So Sunday, the big day, Sunday, the day is big because we have a full moon at 22 degrees of Virgo. Daylight savings begins at 2 a.m. along with Purim, which I believe is a Jewish holiday or event. And then we have Mercury in Pisces squaring Saturn directly. So that's going to be words at odds with authority, at odds with a greater picture for spirituality. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard about something going on in a religious setting, in a church, or amongst people of that type. And then let's see, we have the moon squaring Saturn later in the day at 8:25 p.m. So the Mercury squares Saturn at 8:10 and the moon squares Saturn at 8:25. So we have both opposing each other. So moon opposes Mercury also, it looks like. Moon opposes Mercury at 10:36 p.m. and the moon enters Libra at 10:28 p.m. which is also 1:28 a.m. on the 13th for those on the East Coast. So there's a lot going on, and then Mercury enters Aries on Monday the 13th. So that's taking all that emotional energy, the feminine, the desire nature from subconscious, and Mercury is going to get out there and going to talk about it on Monday. Mercury is ready to make those actions happen. And so if you got business events and you have a meeting with someone, Monday's going to be a really good day to get your point across. And actually, probably more like Tuesday, because Mercury enters Aries at 5:07 p.m., 2:07 on the Pacific Coast, which means after 2 you're going to get good meetings going on. And then so then that brings us to Tuesday of next week, which means that I will talk about all those aspects next week. So hopefully that kind of brings you up to date with what's going on. As far as the full moon in Virgo, again, releasing energy around business, energy around it can be clients, it can be work and health. So it's also anything that relates to your health. It could be digestive issues if you have some of those, because we're going to have Mars going into Taurus, and then that's Thursday, and then following up, I think I said Thursday, then following up on the weekend with the full moon in Virgo. So it's an earth energy weekend. Look for it to being probably a little chilly, because earth energy means down to the earth and more the cold, hard earth, quote unquote, and then you've got Pluto in Capricorn. So we're going to have a trine between Pluto, Mars, and the moon this weekend. And then it's going to culminate with that full moon. So it'll be about definitely energy of the earth. If you're looking to do something with gardening, it's going to be a great weekend to garden. And I would also recommend going to Farmer's Almanac, because they tell the moon cycles and what to plant and when to plant. It's really awesome. So anyway, and femininity is going to be big, because Taurus is a female sign, Virgo is a female sign, and Capricorn is a female sign. So feminine energy is really big towards the weekend as well, and spending time with girlfriends. And I have a friend whose birthday is Sunday, so I know Friday night we're going to be doing a little party for her. So I hope you guys have a really good weekend planned. But let's go to the phone. Actually, 11:27. Let's grab a real quick break, and then I'm going to go take calls and get everything ready so I can do that. So we'll talk to you in about 2 minutes. Welcome back. You are listening to the AstroEnergy Show on Blog Talk Radio. My name is Shelley Overton, and actually you may be listening to it on iTunes as well, because iTunes does carry my show, and I get a lot of listeners from iTunes. If you are interested in a reading from me, either a mini reading, which is about 25 minutes long, or a full reading, which is over an hour long and gets into all the detail and your future, the future year, all the questions you have to ask. And you get a copy of it. You can get me at astrologerangel.com. And it's pretty easy to book a reading over there. So if you want to check that out. And I'm also on all the social media, Pinterest, Twitter. I don't think I'm on Instagram personally, but I do post a little bit here and there about astrology, but not much. Anyway, Facebook, all the usual social media sites. So anyway, thanks for listening, and let's get to the calls. 111, hi, who is this, and how are you today?
Hi, Shelley, it's Danielle. How are you?
Hi, Danielle. I'm fine. What's going on?
Well, I'm in need of spinal surgery on my lower back. I've got like spinal stenosis and bone spurs, and it's affecting my nerves and my spinal cord.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how who's going to, well, my friend said he could come up for 5 days, but I don't know how I'm going to get through this and who's going to help me and how I'm going to have money if I can't work to pay my bills and stuff.
Right.
I'm really stressed out.
I'm sorry you're so
really
stressed out. That sucks.
I'm hurting really bad.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm looking on here and I don't see you under the 111 prefix. Do you have another area code I could find your chart under?
Yeah, it was probably under 828.
828, that helps. Thank you. So yeah, there it is. Yay. Okay, I think I'm also going to save it as the 111 also, just in case. So, okay, let's see what we've got. So what is the question then? I mean, I know you've got a lot of stuff you gave me, but what is your specific question?
Well, how do you see this surgery going and how I'm going to get through it?
Okay, well, what date is it?
I don't know yet. I'm hopefully at the end of the month or...
The end of the month? Okay, I'll just tell you what would be better. Actually, after Mars goes into Taurus this week is a better time anyway, because you've got the body and it's taking action within the physical structure of the body, the earth energy. So that's much better than Aries, which rules blood. And generally, I don't like to encourage people to have surgery under Mars and Aries because of the blood connection. So yeah. And actually for your chart, when Mars goes into Taurus, it goes into your Capricorn house, which rules the spine and the structure of the body, the skeleton. So that is probably more, I mean, it's amazing that that's happening for you right now when all that's going on. That's going to be okay. As far as a specific date, it's kind of hard on the radio show to give you a date to say, hey, do it on this day, because it's something that you have to kind of look at multiple options and where the planets are over time. But I can look at some other things going on. So we're in March 7th, and I would say, let me just look at where the moon is, because moon would also have something to do with it. And you have Pisces in surgery as well. You have Neptune, Sun, and Mercury in that sign right now. Venus is retrograde, so I mean, really, Venus is going to be retrograde, so there's not much you can do about that if you have the surgery this month. So I'm just looking. I would not do it much later than the 27th, because Mercury will be going to the end degrees and also entering the shadow period as well. So Mercury is in shadow period starting the 24th, the 27th of the month, 24 degrees. So if you can do it after, and of course Mercury goes into Aries during that time. So there is, I'm just going to tell you, you've got a slight extra risk of bleeding with that, because Mercury is also the nervous system, and so there is a connection to the spine with the nervous system. So, you know, that energy's there. That's probably the most I can give you without doing a full reading or doing, you know, like another reading together, because it's just going to be way too involved to try and come up with a specific date. And then will you be okay? Let me look, moon and Cancer. So a lot of energy for you is the subconscious, and there's another woman. You've got a double whammy of someone. I mean, Mercury is, excuse me, not Mercury. Moon is at 15 Cancer in your 12th house, and it's within 5 degrees of Vesta in Cancer, which means there's a strong woman energy. Is your mother around still?
She's in St. Louis, and she's telling me that she won't come out and that she doesn't have the money when she's got like over 30,000 in the bank.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying that the Moon Vesta connection, I'm thinking she's part of the problem with stress, because the Vesta connection to me is always difficult woman, and with the moon right on it, that tells me it was your mom that's giving you difficulty. And it's really affecting your subconscious too with this chart, because you have all the water energy in your house of surgery, and then you've got the Cancer in the 12th house, so you have a really strong water energy, because all the surgery is Scorpio energy, which is surgery, it rules surgery. So it's an emotional connection to what's going on here. So, and it's also related to anesthesia. So, and also pain medication. So let me see. Yeah, I would definitely, if you could, contact me before you actually get the surgery, call the show or schedule a reading or something to find out a date, because just the subtle differences from one day to another, even in the hours, can make a difference on awareness around anesthesia and that kind of thing, especially with all that Pisces going on in your surgery house. So as far as will it turn out good, I think if you plan it for a good day and a good time, it should be fine. You will have a little bit of the Mercury in Aries, which means, again, there could be a risk of a little extra blood during the surgery. So, and as far as help, let me see where the help's coming from. Yeah, see, it's difficult with Jupiter retrograde, which is a connection right on your Pluto in the house of neighbors. So you got neighbors, you have friends, you have family, you have a lot of different places you could get help from. Mars is going into career house, into Taurus, so that's probably, do you have anyone from work that might be able to help you? I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't remember everybody's specific job or career situation from time to time. I talk to a lot of people, so
I'll just have to ask friends, people that I barely even know, to help.
Well, it's, there could actually also be some connection to a neighbor, because you do have a couple planets in Gemini up there in the house of friendship. Do you have a neighbor that might be able to look in on you?
I don't know them, but I could possibly ask.
Wow. Now, is this elective surgery, or is this just because of pain? Or what exactly is?
It's been going on for like 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And I'm stuck in my bed. I've been laying in my bed mostly for the past 5 years.
Uh-huh. Wow. Well,
my neck is messed up too, really bad.
Uh-huh. Well, you definitely have some energy going on around surgery, and you've got Neptune there, so I think that is going to help you. Let me see when Neptune goes to retrograde. So you've got a while before Neptune goes retrograde, which is good, because you don't want to do it unless you're redoing something. You don't want to do that under a retrograde. So that's actually more of an ideal situation for you. So let me see, and then Mercury and Sun. If there's any way to schedule it before. See, this is the thing. You have Pisces, which is the hidden, and then you have Aries, which rules blood. So, this month, those are the two strongest energies. And as far as surgery, you want them to know what all they're getting. So, fortunately, the planets that are in Pisces right now are all going direct. So, you've got Chiron there, which is a little bit difficult. And honestly, I know you're in pain, but if you can even wait until May, you've got Venus going direct. Mercury will have gone direct as well. And after the middle of May, you've got Mercury in Taurus. So instead of Aries, which gets you out of the woods for the blood, which is a better timeline, honestly.
Okay.
And I would recommend that.
I do work part-time because I have to, and I could save up some more money for my bills and food and stuff.
Yeah, it would actually probably be more financially helpful for you. And Venus is going to mean, again, Venus in Aries. Aries, it rules things. I mean, Scorpio is definitely surgery, but Aries also has knives under that. So, Venus in Aries retrograde right now, and then in Pisces, I wouldn't honestly recommend doing anything, especially on the body, because Venus rules the second house of the body. Personally, I would wait if you can.
Till the middle of May, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, keep in touch. I'm here every week. Keep in touch and let me know how it goes. Okay?
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, Shelley.
Yeah, take care, Daniel. Bye-bye. All right, 310. Let's see who's there. Hi, 310. How are you?
Shelley, it's me, Mindy.
Me, Mindy. Oh, my goodness. All the hearts are flying out. What's going on? Yay.
Hello there.
Friend of the show.
Being here.
Yeah.
Aw.
What can I do for you?
Thank you for being here for us and your service
so
that you provide for us, Shelley.
You're always
awesome.
So glowing. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're a sweetheart.
You too, Shelley. I guess, I don't know. What do I need to know?
Well,
no
Jupiter and
I don't
partnership.
know how to ask it.
Jupiter and partnership's big right now, and then friendship and daughter. The Jupiter opposition to Uranus is going on for you right now, so you may be running into that difficulty around getting people to cooperate. I don't know if you've felt that, but that's kind of going on. And then Mars right now, which is your ruling planet, for those who don't know, Mindy's in Aries. So Mars, your ruling planet, is at the last couple degrees of Aries, and that's in your house of children and creativity. So there's like that final push with business projects and anything creative. And also, I mean, I can't imagine you having difficulty fighting with your daughter, but there could be some stressful points, or maybe you've had something recently where, it's just hard-headedness, or it's my way, and I want it this way. Why can't you just listen? This is what I want to do, that kind of thing. So that Mars at late degrees Aries is like they're really digging in the heel. It's like, I just want to get it done and final push till the next transition.
Sure.
Yeah, and so when Mars transitions into Taurus, it's going to be really good for you for money, because Mars goes into your house of work, and Taurus rules money. So there's going to be more work that culminates in finances going up, which is awesome. And
that's good.
So go ahead.
I'm dealing with a Sagittarius Jupiter right now. So
that's it. Yeah. Yeah, he's really affected.
End of March.
Yeah, so Jupiter. He's really affected. I can't remember what date is it. If you give me real quick, I can figure out where he is in relationship to the aspect and where his sun.
I don't remember.
You don't know his birthday?
I don't know his exact birthday. I think it's end of November, late November.
End of November. Okay, so it's going to be really early. So Jupiter is actually not going to get really close to his sun, which is good. But definitely having Jupiter as a ruling planet retrograde in Libra is affecting how he interacts in any situation that has to do with foreign affairs. Any Jupiter thing, which is distance and my mind just went blank. I want to say music and comedy and everything, sports, but it's action. It's taking action. What?
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah. Uranus is in Aries also, so you're probably Uranus because Uranus rules entrepreneurship. So you're right there, and we've talked about this before. So that one person who's giving you a difficult time is probably only going to be more intensified right now with Moon conjunct Vesta today, and that squares Jupiter. So the Moon coming up on Vesta later this afternoon for you. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Sorry, there we go. Moon and Vesta, like that rules mother and women issues. So that is definitely in conflict, like flat out. And I would say that your friend that you do business with is probably also in conflict with that woman and battling on some level himself. So maybe before it seemed like there was like, oh, I just have to do it because, who she is, but with this energy, it's like a flat out sticking your feet in the sand and resisting. So there's really strong conflict, and also the cardinal cross falls right on that Moon Vesta conjunction. So
therefore, I have two Sagittarius guys that I'm interacting with on a business sense.
Okay.
I know that the person here in California, we know about the wife thing, but I don't know anything about the wife thing with the overseas person.
Well,
so I don't know if that's him or the other one.
What was his birthday? Okay, so the first one is, I think, the one I know, the local one. He's got his son. If he's late November, his sun is on your Saturn at 2 degrees in Sagittarius. So there is a really strong egoic connection to him. You don't know the birthday of the one overseas?
He's also late November.
They both are. Okay, so you do well with Sagittarians late November because that's right on your Saturn, and it's like you create the structure of whatever business that you're trying to do because that's your life purpose and career. So that structure is really strong, and you can manifest it for them, which is their sons are going, wow, like the ego, the sun ego is very attracted to the fact that you're manifesting, you're kind of shoring them up and saying, no, this is what we need to do. So there will always be that strong connection to people born that time of year for you, because they're going to just you're going to make it happen for them, and you're going to give their career a boost with how you're able to organize it and create it for them. Interestingly, your Saturn and my Saturn square each other, which is really interesting.
Oh, no.
But we can talk about that another time.
Okay, we will. Absolutely.
Yeah, later today if you want.
Yeah. Okay, but moving forward, I will talk about the younger one.
Okay.
End of March is a really important meeting.
So
in a foreign country.
Okay. So Mercury is going to be at late degrees Aries and then go into Taurus in early April. So it's going to happen the end of March. Okay, so what's going on right now is Mars is at 28 degrees Aries. So Mars is saying we need to take action. Very, like I said, it's very driven to get stuff done. It's almost like the carts before the horse in this way, because Mercury right now is lagging behind Mars. So the thoughts about the details and how to execute it are actually following the drive to get going on it. So it's kind of like you're going to have all that stuff culminate at the end of March, which is, the meeting is going to coordinate, because not only that, Mercury will be joining up with Uranus, which is supercharging the ideas. So it's going to be extremely popping with ideas at that time, which is great. Yes. And then Mars will be in your house of work, so it's going to be about Taurus and pragmatism, about, I don't know if that's the business that does goods or goods processing, your business, but that's also going to, I think that was, the guy overseas is can I say the name?
Nah, you can say the initial.
Okay, VBB. That is going to be more around that and really getting it into the marketplace, which is the Mars in the workhouse. So it's going to be, and it is also health as well. So it relates to health. So it is going to be the pragmatic shift around the products themselves and Also, culmination of lots of ideas can be really great for the ideas coming in. So
that's great. And what does this one overseas? What is his thoughts about me on a personal?
On a personal level. Okay, hang on. I'm going to actually do a quick chart for the question and look at that.
Am I taking up too much time, Shelley? You should go to another caller.
No. I've got a couple more callers, and I've got plenty of time to get to both. So it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get to you. It's okay. Yeah, and you know me. I run over a little bit if I have to, just to get my callers out of the way. So it's good. I'm not out, but taken care of.
Yeah, and I'll speak with you this afternoon. Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I can just tell you what's going on. Like, there's a major structural shift, and I can tell you this week specifically, especially with Jupiter opposing Uranus, Mars and Venus on either side of Uranus, there is something unexpected going on around activity, and like it was like, wow, I can't believe that person just did that. But Venus is the feminine and the desire and the woman, and Mars is the man and the masculine and the sex drive. So when you have Uranus between the two of them, it means that there's some idea or some quick shift of action because it's in Aries. So there's going to be this really quick shift of some kind of activity going on, but there's also a shift around relationship and marriage and a foreign energy associated with it. So all that energy is on that connectedness to this person, that there is an energy of a third person, or, the woman, the third, Libra is the triangle. So there's that energy of the other person. And then that quick, unexpected, it could be jarring. It's the lightning. It's like what I was saying about the weather early on in the show, how everything is just like really intense right now. That translates into our lives. But for you, with the moment of the question when it was asked, I've got the energy going on in friendship and career, like soul group. So there's something going on that's really shifting the energy around the business side of that is a person who also has business with you, correct?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
So yeah, there's some kind of culmination of the business going on as well. And it's almost like the business is coming in between the feminine and what is going on. And like, so, there's this separating between the man and the woman with the business and with those actions currently. Because Venus is going retrograde back into Pisces, and that is career, there's going to be more shift and change around the story and what this person wants from the story. In other words, like the old story is going away. Mars is kind of free falling a little bit until he joins up. I don't know, I take it back. He's today and until he changes what I say Thursday. You got a couple days where he's doing whatever he wants. So he's not even with Saturn anymore. He joined Saturn yesterday in a trine, but he's already passed the Saturn trine before he goes into Taurus. Taurus is relationships too. So once he gets to Taurus, which is what I say Thursday, I really need to keep that page open in my book so I can tell people. Mars, where'd you go? Yeah, Mars and Thursday into Taurus. So, yeah, after Thursday, between now and Thursday, he's going to kind of do whatever he wants to do. But on Thursday, it's going to be much more about the connectedness to relationships and, more discussion around that. When Mercury gets to Taurus, that's really when you're going to hear more, like, I really want to get to know you. I want to get to, talking about that. So.
Right.
Let me see. Mercury goes into Taurus on late until May. Mercury gets into Taurus in May because there's a retrograde before he can get to Taurus. So, yeah, we can talk more about it later if you'd like.
All righty then, dear Shelley. I'm here. Okay. I'm not commuting today, so.
Okay, wonderful.
Later this afternoon.
Yeah, I have. I'm just going to let you know that I've got one other call after the show, and then I might be able to give you a ring right after that, okay?
Look how you said ring. I love it.
How did I say it?
Ring, like a call, like
give you
English.
A ring.
I'll give you a ring.
Oh, my God. Oh. Well, we do love our British energy, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
All right.
How funny.
All right. You take care, Mindy.
Shelley. Thank you.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Bye now.
Bye. Okay, so 612. Let me see. Hi, is this Karen?
It is Karen. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you today?
I had a specific question, but after listening to the information at the first part, I actually got that question answered.
Oh, too funny.
Oh
my gosh.
I know. So,
that's great.
I guess maybe I should just let you go on to the next caller.
Yeah.
I don't have anything specific.
I can give you, let me just take a minute to give you a real once-over on your chart and see what you're doing. So you got Saturn directly on your sun. Your sun is right next to your Saturn in your chart, 27 and 28 degrees of Sag. So Saturn's right there right now. And I don't know what we've said in the past, what I've said to you in the past about it, but you're being asked to play. I hope you're out there playing. I hope you're getting some adventures because Saturn wants you. Your sun so wants to be free. I mean, like sun on Saturn. Saturn is restrictive, and your sun in Sag is like even Mercury in Sag for you. You really do have the strong desire to be free of tangles, entanglements. But and Saturn wants you to do that, and you've got so much energy in the house of creativity with the Sun, Saturn, and then you have a Venus in Capricorn, and so you've got so much restriction in your chart around play and creativity that really when Saturn goes from Sag late degree on your return into Capricorn, it's really telling you now's the time to create the structure of that playfulness. And also when Saturn hits your Venus, you're going to probably, I don't know if you are married or, you're going to be wanting, are you? So that could also include either women or a partner, someone to do it with. You want someone to do it with. So Pluto's been really triggering that with a transit through your house of creativity and children. And I'm guessing that you have children who are leaving the nest or have recently left the nest. Is that true?
Right.
Okay. Well, when Pluto gets into your house at work, you're going to really finally say, move on, transition from that. Like right now, it's probably, oh, wow, this is so hard. And so, that's the energy because you've got those subliminal ideas come up like, am I desired? Like, am I still needed? Like I have those feelings sometimes with my son out to college now. It's like they just fly the nest. They go to college and they don't want anything to do with you. And it's like, oh, so hard. And and so it's a little difficult with that Pluto at the end degrees of your house of children because it really is wrapping up that story in your life. And then Saturn going through there also, it's like everything for you around creativity and children is very structured. You really need to play. When Saturn gets into Capricorn, it's going to release some of the energy from the Sagittarius, and Jupiter will get there in just over a year, and that's going to be awesome for you because, and I think you're also going to go back to school and take something creative when that happens. So it's in your future. You do have some freeing up energy coming in. And then Mars is in your house of the Sagittarius house, the 9th house. So that's also coming in. And you're coming into a Mars return as well in the next couple months. So that's awesome. You're going to have a lot of infusion of energy around career, creativity. There could be some changes coming in for you. Well, there are going to be changes coming in for you around how your work environment is structured. But Pluto, I think in the next year, Pluto will actually get there. Let me look real quick on my ephemeris for them. Pluto and Capricorn at 18, 19 Chiron. So it's really going to fly. So Pluto going into your house of work is really going to shift things. So 22. Yeah, it doesn't get there until next year, but it is going to shift like the work environment. And you're going to be like, you know what, I'm just not getting all my needs met from what I'm doing. I'm going to want to change. So anyway, that's all your stuff. That's what I have time to give you today. So
that is perfect, and it fits with a lot of gut feelings. So I'll connect with you offline. Thank you so much, Shelley.
You're
welcome.
Appreciate it. My pleasure. Take care. Thanks for the call. Talk to you again soon.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, let's get our last caller for the day, 626. Hi, 626. How are you?
Hi, my name is Erica.
Erica, hi. Have you called before? You're welcome.
No, it's my very, very first time, and
awesome.
I've been paying attention to the planets and what have you. And the weekend of the solar eclipse was really rough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tell me about it.
I'm
real quick, hold on a minute. what is your birth information, and then you can tell me about what you're looking for.
Sure. So I'm 6/17/77.
Okay, 6/17/1977. I'm going to lose my live listeners in about 10 seconds, so I want to thank you for calling in and listening, but we still got you, and I'm still going to give you your reading. What time did you say you were born?
Thank you. 4:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, p.m. you said, right?
Yep.
And where were you born?
In Brooklyn, New York.
Brookman, M-A-N?
Brooklyn.
Oh, Lynn. Oh, Brooklyn. Ah, I know Brooklyn. I don't know why I thought it was Brooklyn. Oh, hang on one second. Yeah, my computer has a glitch, and when I go and put in the city, then it eradicates the date. So I had to put the date back in. Stop that. Sorry about that. Okay, and then you said it was June, right? June 17th. Okay, I've got everything else, so that's good. All right, let's just get this up and running. Okay, so now what is it that you wanted to know?
Okay, so I had this really best friend. His name is Ro, and he's a Leo, and we've been best friends for almost 3 years. And the weekend of the solar eclipse, we went to Vegas, and we kind of had a falling out because the plans didn't go as projected. There was lots of delays. Everything kind of went his way, and so we have not been on speaking terms. He said a lot of "I'm sorry." I said I'll forgive you. We'll talk about it and move on from there. And then we have not talked about it. He sent me a text message saying that he just needs time. He's focusing on his career, and then he put it out there like March is a busy month, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well. You think he's just using it to try and well, you do have okay, so let's back up. The cardinal cross that's going on right now, it falls in your subconscious. So Jupiter relationships in the subconscious is on your north node. So one of the phenomena that are going on right now with all this Pisces and Aries energy, especially Venus retrograding in Aries going back into Pisces, is we see patterns that we've had in the past for many years. You know, I'm talking like your adult life. And so these patterns, you've lived them over and over in different relationships. And right now with the energy, it's actually changing everything so that we see the pattern again, but we're now getting rid of all the stuff that we've been dealing with. So we're really culminating the end of whatever the story was. So a lot of times, I mean, the way I look at it is whatever you're going through in these first few months of the year is really the end of the old story, and that you're able to really let it go. And Venus retrograding back into Pisces at late degrees is the end of something. So, and Venus is love, so it can be you're finishing up some kind of old story that you've had that may not be just the single situation you're in, but also a pattern with other people. So I would suggest to you that that's probably part of what's going on with him, that whatever came out during that weekend, because it was a very powerful weekend. Remember, there was, there were 2 events going on that weekend. I don't remember exactly what the other one, but definitely the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, and then I think Uranus conjuncted or opposed something. I don't remember. I'm sorry, because I do so many aspects. Okay. I lost it. But on the very same day, I guess I could look it up. You said it was last weekend? No, it was the weekend before that.
The weekend of the, right.
Yeah, it was Mars joined Uranus. So Mars and Uranus, which is the unexpected and also the Aries energy. So taking action around men being unexpected and not, something not going the way you thought it would. I don't know how long you've listened to the show, but I definitely talked about that kind of energy coming in that weekend because it was a huge weekend, and a lot of stuff did happen that was like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? So, the Venus, so what's going on? Because Mars joined Uranus, but Venus went retrograde. So even though Mars was right there, this situation happened, but Venus was not on board. So Venus said, no, I'm going back and I've got to review some old emotions. and that's what's going on even for him. Like, he's feeling, even men have Venus in their charts, and he's an Aries. No, he's a Leo, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Leo.
let's see. He said a lot of stuff's going on at work, which, I don't know if you know any of his chart, but if he had like a Scorpio rising, you have a Scorpio rising, all this Aries energy is in your house of work. So I'm wondering if he may have a Scorpio rising as well, because he said he's really busy, which that would actually, increase busyness at work. But it means that you're kind of also pulling back, and it's a dynamic. He's not the only one in the relationship or what was going on. So there are two people, and you have energy as well pulling away. So he's probably going to need a month and a half to really process, because as long as Venus is retrograde, he's kind of withdrawing back into the shell. And it also inconjuncts his sun, the Pisces energy. And there's a lot of Pisces energy going on right now. It's inconjunct to his sun, which is a negative, difficult aspect. So without having his chart and the time to really go over it in more depth right now, I would say that, yes, he's probably withdrawing a bit. And I think when Jupiter goes direct and or when Venus goes direct, those are two separate times. Let me find out when Jupiter goes direct. I think it's in June. It's June 10th. So, the first half of this year, he really is kind of doing some personal renovation. So you might have to just hands off for a little bit, let him process some things. There's a lot of, the Sun, Mercury, and Neptune are all in Pisces, including the South Node and Chiron, which is the wounding. So he's got stuff to process. And you do too. Venus going into Pisces is going to, it may be like, wow, I really am hurt. I don't know what all, you're going to feel, but definitely the friendship with him is probably going to be missed. And it's friendship and romance too. But Venus going into Pisces, you still have some emotional energy to process over the next month and a half. So I would say call in the show, or, you can get a reading too, but call in the show a little bit later, like another month to 5 weeks, and then we can look over what's going on then. But I would say he's probably pulling back for a while.
Okay, but that doesn't, I guess, so I should not contact him. I should kind of
if you contact him, I would well, you're probably going to want to contact him when Mercury gets to Aries. That's just going to be where you're going to be like, I got to talk to him, because Mercury is communication, Aries is taking action, and you're probably not going to be able to resist calling him. So that'll probably happen. I'm just letting you know. And also, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's going back talking to people from the past or from a recent situation. So Mercury retrogrades the middle of April at 4 degrees Taurus, which is, again, romance, and the Venus rules Taurus. So it's going to be about the romance. And then he goes retrograde into Aries on the 21st of April. So somewhere late April is probably more likely you're going to contact them, or he'll contact you. I'm not saying he won't contact you, but I can tell you with the planets the way they are, especially Venus retrograde, it's kind of like, I just need to have alone time. I need to process. I need to go back to what happened. I need to go back over it, and I'm not really ready to move forward. Mars in Taurus can help move forward, and then when Mars goes into Taurus, it also hits, it's going to hit your Chiron in relationships, and it's going to hit your Mars and your Venus. So it is kind of the story of your spring. This situation is a big theme for you this spring. So...
Oh, good. Because, we don't have any romantic relationship. He's a gay guy. But
okay. So you just missed the friendship. Oh, okay.
Oh, we were like best friends. When I say best friends, like, we would see each other. Like, he has a husband, but we would see each other every single day. And then this void of like, oh my gosh, we haven't seen or spoken to each other since that whole solar eclipse. It's like, it's a bummer. I've been praying. I've been thinking about white light and doing all these things.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, definitely know that he needs some time to recuperate, too. And he does have stuff going on. I'm not going to kid you. He does have stuff. But I can tell you are coming into a cycle where you're more likely to meet someone with Mars on your Venus and your Mars in your house of marriage and partnership in the sign of Taurus. There's an old wound that you have to address and overcome. But you definitely were wounded. Have you been divorced?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that is something that you're going to have to address probably in the next few weeks. The feeling from that, because that's, I think, what's holding you back from finding someone else, unless you're in a relationship, in which case that is all null and void.
I've been no, not at all. I've been single since 2011. I've lost a substantial amount of weight. So, like, I'm trying to put my love energy of loving myself, and so I'm hoping that this year I get a boyfriend would be nice.
Yeah, I would say you definitely have some opportunities coming in, like I said, in the next couple months with Mars going into Taurus. That's in your house of marriage and partnership. You just have it hit your Chiron, which is going to bring up, it's probably a money issue or some old past wounding like a divorce. And then really what you're looking for is Venus getting into Taurus, which happens, actually Venus needs to finish retrograding, then go back direct. So it's way down, it's in June. So when Venus gets in there, really literally the middle weeks of June, from the 11th through the 17th of June, Venus is going to be right on there. So I'm thinking that Mars is going to trigger some desire and maybe even get you dating again, but Venus is going to like put the cap on it and say, yeah, this is where you need to be. And so if you meet someone coming up, it could be something that might be a precursor to having a real relationship, because you're going to have Venus go across Uranus, which is very unexpected. You'll probably meet someone, they'll seem all awesome, and then he'll come and go very quickly. And then you'll meet the real one. So I'm just giving you that too. There's somebody who is like, wow, what's that? And then it'll wake you up, and then you'll meet somebody. And I've got to go because I don't know how much recording time I have, and the show is over.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your input, and have a great day. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the call. Okay, take care. Call again.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again next week. Bye. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com.